Alright, so this is a late night drawing session, and I am going to mess around and let's start with a new canvas. I'm going to go into my custom thing here, and I made an 11x17 preset at 6 of 100 resolution. And for anybody that doesn't know, if you're drawing anything with really fine details, especially in raster and whatnot, 600 is considered the norm in comics. I know all my graphic designer friends out there are going to be like, you don't have to draw above 300 and whatnot and blah blah blah, but yeah, you do. If you want to preserve the little finer details that the digital pencil that's mimicking graphite will catch, you need that 600. Just like if I was drawing pencil on actual paper, I would scan that thing in at 600. You can always reduce. And there are many pros out there that have told me this. Well, they tell you it on YouTube. You can look them up. People like Peter Steigerwald or Brian Haberlin or anybody like that. Anyways, so 11x17, 600 resolution. I'm going to use the pencil tool. I do not want that color. I'm just going to start with black at 1.3. Okay, so anyways, who was I drawing? Yes. As my nephew calls him, Wolverine. So it's late. I'm just going to make this some kind of headshot of some sorts or something, probably. If I'd like it, I'll probably expand it into the whole 11x17 thingy here and fill up the paper. But anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and start with the face. And I think I'm going to go with the yellow and brown suit. Let's see here. Do I want it to be face straight on? I don't know. I'm just going to mess with the ideas. Sometimes it takes getting the bad ones out of the way, and then you realize what you want to do. If I do them straight on, I can give a really cool snarl. Snarl? Snarl. Snarl, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna make his chin wider. Maybe that'll make me like it more. He is 5'3" after all, and it's always fun to make Wolverine this compact little stick of dynamite when every other character, especially, well, the male characters at least in the comic book world, are typically 6 foot plus. I always loved seeing that lineup where Wolverine would be amongst all the X-Men, and he's shorter than everybody, except for perhaps Puck. I mean, Puck is like what, 3 feet tall or something like that. But yeah, other than him, it's really great to see Wolverine be the shortest guy on the team. To me, it just adds that extra something about his character. And while I think Hugh Jackman totally nailed the character of Wolverine in the films, other than the fact that he doesn't say bub enough. I mean, Wolverine's always saying bub, right? Anybody that reads the books knows that. Well, he used to say it a lot more than he does these days. Stuff like, you better get out of here, bub, if you know what's good for you. Or, I'm gonna eat your soul, bub, if you don't get a move on. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think I've ever heard Wolverine say that, or read Wolverine while he's saying that. Okay, I don't know why I'm cleaning this up. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna keep this. Anyways. So what, I can make him hunched over with his fists right here and jaggy spikes like that. Or let me see. I could make him all prim and proper. And give him a suit and a tie. I've actually seen that done before. I don't remember who drew that cover. I'm gonna give him a wide neck. I don't know yet. Hunched over, not hunched over. Let's see what it looks like wider. Could have him leaning in, one shoulder. Have the fingers right about here. Nah. I do sort of like the idea of him being hunched over though. And we'll have the neck come down into there. Then his collarbone. Back part of his shoulder. Maybe we'll throw that arm off the canvas here. I'm going to draw a little bit of the rib cage down here. Actually, I like that. I'll have him tilting a little bit here, like that. Put more of a focus on this arm and have that one be in the background. Because all this doesn't matter too much anyways. Since we're probably not even going to finish off all this. It's going to be mostly a focus right about here. I like to draw this, well, I typically like to draw at about, where is it, 16 or 18 zoom. I think somewhere around this size right here, the 16 zoom is almost about a real 11 by 17. Actual size, I should say. Pretty close, somewhere between that 14 and that 16, I think. Anyways, so let's mess around with this Wolverine face. See what we can do here. Let's give him a cool cowl. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Sam Keith draw the cowl, but he does this really cool fold thing. And that was like one of the first comic books that I ever got. He like folds it this way, and then folds it that way, and then folds it back again. Something like this, I think. Oh man, I can't do it like him. He does it really cool. So maybe I'll just do something like that on my own. Let's call it Inspired by Sam Keith. I got to meet him, by the way. Really cool guy. Very friendly. It's too bad he doesn't come out for more conventions and stuff. I guess he doesn't like doing shows too well. From everything I've read, he's pretty reclusive. My girlfriend actually told me the last time that he was doing a thing, he was coming to, I think it's World's Best Comics in Sacramento. And I was like, no way. And she's like, what? And I said, well, Sam Keith never goes anywhere to those conventions and stuff. So she's like, you want to go? And I was like, well, yeah. I was like, that I sort of have to go to. I can't just miss out on that. And so she ended up looking into it, and we ended up going. And while she was looking into it, actually, she said it had been 20 years since his last public appearance, as far as signing and stuff like that. And I was shocked at first, and then I thought about it, and I was like, actually, that sounds about right, because it's been that long since the Max has been out, and he was working on Wolverine in the early 90s, so Max was in the 90s too. It was only so many years after. So anyways, that was really awesome. Got to meet him. He released some of these sketchbooks that I love. And I had him sign them. It was part of his promotion for the Hollows. So I think I have the first 2 copies of that signed. And 2 sketchbooks signed. Plus my Wolverine it was a book that was given to me by my cousin a long time ago. I was 12, I believe. And that's crazy that I even had that thing, and that it was still in the decent condition that it was. I got pretty obsessed with comic books pretty quick. I saw those, and I was just lit up, and I was like, where have these been my whole life? Why did I not know this existed? And then later on, I ended up finding out that my parents had like a whole bunch of comic books that they had thrown away because they got so frustrated with moving them from place to place when they were younger. Okay, he's not looking too bad, I guess. It's just a sketch, pretty much, anyways. Of course, that's what I said about that Cyclops that I did. And it ended up looking like a lot more than just a sketch. So yeah, man, I'm being so sloppy. Wow. Okay. Now we're going to give him his nose shadow. because I don't want to think about bringing the light in from anywhere else, so I'm just going to bring it straight down from up the above. Hope you don't mind. Trying to estimate where I want this nose to come out. Snarling. I am Wolverine. And Wolverine is awesome and all, but I don't know why people think this guy is so much more capable than he is. Don't get me wrong, you know, that's pretty much every character, every comic book character, right? Batman, Superman, all of them. Well, I mean, Superman's pretty damn capable, but no. It's the fact that he is a cool character in general is what makes people get so hyped about him and want him to be in the forefront of everything. But the problem I think that it creates is people start doing these terrible things, like saying, like the comic books release Wolverine and the X-Men. That should never be, in my opinion. And most of the time, I make it a point not to even buy anything if it's listed as Wolverine and the X-Men, because I know exactly who it's targeted at. People who don't know, or know very little about the comics. Because when you do a thing like that, you take all of the other characters, which not only are more capable, but they're also smarter and better at certain different things, you know, like leadership or, you know, psychic abilities, what have you, and you just shove them all to the side and you're putting all the attention on this guy who has a healing factor and some claws and pretty much acts like any of the generic outcasts that you can think of. Now, that's not all there is to Wolverine. No, of course not. If it was, I wouldn't like Wolverine at all. But I love Wolverine because he's supposed to be that character in the mix of characters that are more in control, of characters that are different and have all these other capabilities that he doesn't have. And he is supposed to be that stick of dynamite that you throw into the mix. So when you take and make Wolverine the main forefront character, what other character is going to come over there and play that role and do those things that he does? You can't. You instantly get rid of that dynamic right away. Just even the title, you just take it away. So I always thought that's a bad idea because you ruin who Wolverine is by putting him in that position. Not that he can't be a leader. I mean, there have been stories before where, you know, they have to have somebody who needs to do some leadership role in a flash, or, you know, maybe somebody doesn't have that much experience and they've got to pull things together real quick, and he happens to know more about one certain subject or whatever, what have you, and then and boom, you know, he'll assume that role, he'll do that thing. So it's not like he can't do it, it's just that you have to have him, I think you have to have him written into a role like that might occasionally happen. Because then you switch things up, you know, and you're exploring other options and stuff like that, which is cool. But to make him the main attraction, no thanks. I'll avoid it every time. The only things I own that are Wolverine and the X-Men are some hero clicks. And that's because the sculptor, or sculptors, whoever did it, did such an awesome job on those. They're just really good looking. I mean, the Gambit in that set is great. The Wolverine in that set is great. And sometimes hero clicks can be pretty... Some of them can be pretty gnarly. They don't look so... Gnarly in a bad way, I should say. They don't look so hot. They look like melted clay. Maybe somebody was in the middle of something and they stopped. But no, those actually look really cool. Okay, I'm going to flip him around here and see what's going on. This helps me realize all the stuff that's wrong with him. Jeez, okay. I'm going to take that eyeball right up by here. Bring his eyes out a little bit. Do one of those. Go back and take a look at it. Yes, I like that better. And then the cowl is okay. I don't mind if that's not perfect, but that head's got to be fixed. Let's see how that looks. It's really not that far off. It's the cowl. From here to here. And here to here. That's what's making his head look all lopsided. I'm going to still try to correct it according to what I'm seeing here. Yeah, that's a little bit better. There we go. That's not so bad. Not perfect, but hey, this is just a doodle for now. So then we can give him some eyebrow definition. This would be the front part of his head, his skull. We can give some dark parts of the underneath the eyes here. I'm just blocking in some stuff right now. And then we'll probably give him some stubble too in a minute. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Commander Mark status, right? Yeah, I know. Nobody's gonna know who that is. Okay, so I think that's looking pretty decent. So now we have to do one of them there, spotting the blacks. And spotting the blacks is when you go in and you find all the dark areas. I could use the lasso tool, but To that I say I'm going to do it new school, old school style for a little bit here. How long has it been already? Oh, geez, it's already been 26 minutes. Okay. So I gotta hurry this thing up here, or else you guys are gonna be stuck watching this for like an hour. Let's see how that looks. That's not so bad, eh? You know, one of my favorite things about drawing Wolverine 2 is sometimes you can be so messy. I think that's what I loved about Sam Keith's art on Wolverine. He was so messy and it just looked awesome. Man, I can't remember that Wolverine issue that he signed for me, but it's got Wolverine in the rain with his claws out, and Sam Keith always drew him with these cool looking bent, like rounded needles, and it was just awesome. They're so cool, and still to this day I think he's the only person I have ever seen draw Wolverine's claws like that, which is really cool, you know? I mean, everybody's got their own way of doing those claws. Some of my favorites is Silvestri and Jim Lee. They draw some awesome Wolverines. Both equally cool Wolverines in my opinion. They just rock. And J. Scott Campbell's got his own thing going on for sure when it comes to Wolverine. And no, I'm not going to put the pupils in. I know some people like to draw the pupils and whatnot, like probably, you know, fans of Alex Ross and all that, but I do not. I say leave the pupils white. It just has that cool thing to it. I think I will take a section of this and just make it dark. See how that looks real quick. Actually get rid of those. One of the things I love about recording this way while I'm drawing is that when I'm moving the canvas, this digital canvas here. Beforehand, when I would try to record things, it would get all shaky every time I'm moving my desk, because the camera would either be attached to my desk or I would attach the camera to the wall, and you could see the whole thing moving. But right now, I've got this Wacom tablet up on a Ergotron arm, and it's jiggling like crazy. Not so bad that I can't really focus on what I'm doing, but you guys can't see it jiggling. So it looks like the picture remains still, which is awesome. I'm saying awesome a lot tonight, aren't I? Whatever. It's late. I'm busy doodling. Hope somebody likes this thing. No, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to leave that for a shine. Yep, that's better. Yeah, that works better. So, if you're wondering what my choices are, or why I'm using this, making lines all over the place, it is because I am trying to get some dimension going with the lines that I'm creating. Drop some things back, bring some things forward with the light. Just like I'm going to have to make a decision here on which side of this nose I want to be darker. Let me see. Let's just do this real quick. Yeah. Well, the middle portion is going to be the darkest anyways. Actually, no, it won't. This is the yellow. That's what we'll do. we will give the side of his nose a snarl and darken in the rest. Actually, that does look better that way. Okay. Oh, let me see here. We'll give him some shadow coming down here. Oh man, it's already 36. Okay. 36 minutes we're at. Yeah, so. And if you're familiar with comic books, a lot of people, well, I shouldn't say a lot of people, some people have mixed feelings about cross-hatching, right? And I say it like that because for me it's not an issue. Once you learn about what cross-hatching is and all of that rot and how long it's been around and what they use it for and how it's used, cross-hatching is just stellar. It's gorgeous, I think. But then you got all these other people that say, cross-hatching is really 90s or really this or really that. And I'm like, no, it's actually, if you go back and look at Leonardo da Vinci or Michelangelo or any of those guys, you will see that they used cross-hatching on paper to work out what they were going to do in their paintings or whatever. And that carried over, and lots of artists were doing this, and they have been doing it for many, many years. So you can't say it's hella 90s because they were doing it before the 90s. And some of those best guys still do it today, and their work is so gorgeous. I'm talking just beautiful stuff. Have you seen Mark Silvestri's cover for The Walking Dead 100? Oh man, if you haven't, I highly suggest you go take a look at that. Some of the most killer crosshatch work you will ever see. He's got a mixture of everything going on there, honestly. But also, the Cyberforce covers that he did are just stellar. And Jim Lee too. And Brett Booth. And I could probably go on and on and on. But also a killer guy that just did amazing work with lines in general is also Bernie Wrightson. If you don't know who Bernie Wrightson is or you've never heard of him, go look that guy up too. You will not regret it. As a matter of fact, look up Bernie Wrightson Frankenstein, because even if you don't know comic book characters and you're just watching me draw this random Wolverine, everybody knows Frankenstein. So once you see that guy, his rendition of Frankenstein, his renderings, wow. That's what all I can say is just wow. Wowie, wow, wow, wow. It will blow your mind. And even after, well, I should say after, even during and beyond the days of Leonardo da Vinci and all that, there were woodblock artists. Man, there's this one guy, I can't remember his name, but they used to carve the drawings into wood using this same kind of cross-hatching technique to go from, I'm doing a terrible job here, but they'll go from lighter like this, and then they'll go down into a dark area, and they'll either make the lines thicker or they'll make more of them. And then if you need a darker spot still, you'll come in from another angle and you'll go down into that and you make that area dark. And then if you need it darker still, you'll fade in and you get this light to dark effect going. And that's how they would do it on the wood. They would carve it in that way, and then they would, drench it in ink, and then you would have your wood block for wood printing, or for ink printing, I should say. And there's one dude in particular that is just, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. And obviously I think he had an influence on artists to the point where it became so ingrained in anybody drawing in line work in general that it just became sort of the norm to a certain degree. And that guy wasn't just doing characters, like this kind of thing right here. He was doing entire scenes. Some of those crazy scenes that just have a bunch of people doing different things, or I might be wrong, but I remember something about some kind of boats and stuff. It's just really crazy. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap this one up pretty soon here. I'm already at 43 minutes. I mean, geez. I mean, I guess I could probably color him and stuff too, but I don't know if everybody's going to want to hang around for however long it's going to take me to do that. So yeah, I'm just going to finish this one right here. Maybe if somebody wants to see me color him, go ahead and let me know. I'm gonna try this real quick. Nope, don't like it. Okay, so yeah, I think this is just about it for this Wolverine. Maybe I'll do a little bit of the muscles around the collarbone here. And then maybe we'll give him a little bit of shadow under the chin. And then these will be the trap areas, right? This part that comes over the shoulder here, goes back up and around behind the neck. And then he'll be like, rah. I'm gonna come into your house and eat you, bub. Yeah, that'd be pretty messed up if Wolverine. That was his goal. Who needs Sabretooth at that point, right? Okay, I'm getting way too carried away here. I mean, this is just supposed to be a sketch, man. A sketch. Hey, you guys are stuck watching me do this for like, what is this? This is almost going on an hour. Come on, dude, finish this thing up. I'm trying. I'm trying, people, I'm trying. Have some patience. I can hear you saying, come on, dude, when's this thing gonna be done? I just want to see Wolverine being all cool, man. I'm trying. It's not my fault. I love to draw. It's not my fault. Okay. So there we go. I have a Wolverine drawing here. He's got some muscle coming out of his pecs here. Yeah, that's right, coming out of the pecs. Okay, so anyways, he's in that brown and yellow suit, which goes a little bit like that. And then because I'm trying to make this quick, we'll give it some kind of indication that, yeah, there's a separation there. This is a darker suit. Now I just realized this eye wants to be snarled up. Yeah, there we go. That's the ticket right there. And then that is his tongue. There we go. Okay, there we go. And I will sign him right bound down Hannah, and we are done. So if you indeed watched this whole thing, thank you very much. And I will try to keep another sketch video considerably shorter. Thank you for watching.